Nowadays, things that were once complex and incomprehensible to us are so simplified that it sometimes reach absurdity. It sounds just as absurd when young guys earn several times more than their parents from Forex trading. Imagine how much time and effort a person would spend to earn $100,000 a year, and compare this to this video, because I'm going to tell you what automated tools you can use to get a no less income. The stock exchange has long ceased to be a place for people with super thinking, because with progress we have indicators that give just phenomenal signals. Neither experience nor skills are needed to open a trade on a signal. All you need is to follow some simple rules. I will analyze for you in practice a step-by-step algorithm for opening profitable positions, as well as show you with the help of which indicator I managed to make such seemingly incredible, but at the same time very simple trades. Right now we will need two things. The first is the TradingView website for analytics and your broker's terminal to open positions. I often use MetaTrader 4 app, where you can just log into any of your accounts and open trades even from your phone. First of all, we need to do a simple registration on the TradingView website. It is a portal that contains a huge amount of tools for traders as well as quotes. So we create a free account. This gives us the opportunity to add two very cool indicators, which I'm going to demonstrate to you today, with the help of which I managed to earn more than $5,000 last week. We go to the indicators section. Here we write the name of the first indicator. Here is this indicator, mark it as a favorite and click on it once. It has absolutely standard settings. We don't need to customize anything else. The only thing we can do is to remove the check mark here, so that the additional scale doesn't interfere with us. Then add the second indicator. It is RSI indicator with automatic divergence search. It's called RSI divergence indicator. Just click on it and add it. So let's analyze the strategy with the help of these indicators on the example of this asset. Let's start with a non-standard RSI divergence indicator. This is an ordinary RSI which automatically looks for a divergence between the chart and oscillator. If you're a beginner and you haven't understood anything I've said, remember the most important thing. We start looking for entry points with the help of these indicators at the moment when we have a divergence on the RSI indicators. We have bullish divergence, it is indicated in green color, and we have bearish divergence. The point is that here we have a divergence between the chart and the oscillator, so we have a bearish divergence, for example. If you look at it, it's just more pronounced here, and compare the tops of the chart with the indicator, we will notice that the chart is growing and the RSI oscillator is falling. And since the chart is growing and RSI is falling, we get a divergence, and the chart sooner or later follows the oscillator. As the oscillator starts to decline, the chart will also decline. Absolutely similar situation with the future divergence. Here the chart is falling, but the oscillator, on the contrary, is growing, so we have a divergence signal. After the divergence signal comes, we need to pay attention to the second trend indicator. Here we have the area of normal trading range, and accordingly when the market goes beyond this area, a signal appears. So with the help of this RSI indicator, we filter quite a large number of signals that we have here. So we have formed a bullish divergence. It means that the chart, after a long fall, we are all ready for reversal, and we just need to catch a good entry point. Here we see a figure of technical analysis. It is a falling wedge. As we know, the exit from this figure additionally leads to growth. Accordingly, what do we do? First of all, we see that we have a signal right here on this candle. This means that after this candle on the rise, we enter to the trade. Of course, we do not enter the trade on the downside, because we have a bullish divergence here and it is simply contraindicated. But here is our entry point. It means that the market, after the bullish divergence came out of this gray channel, this is quite a good buy signal. If you don't understand anything about it at all, you just need to compare these two facts. Find the signal to go up here on the chart in the case of the bullish divergence, and find a signal to go down here in the case of bearish divergence. That's all, you don't need to do anything else. And so let's understand in real time how the process of making a trend will take place. So we rewind at this point and we get a signal and divergence. Let's take a long position. The entry point is the next candle after the signal. Here it is. This candle closes above the gray area, and for example, here we open a trade. I don't put a stop so far, but if you want to immediately put a stop loss and limit yourself for any losses, then a stop loss is put behind this gray area, nearly somewhere here. And the nearest target we can put the updates of some local maximum. It could be this maximum well, and ideally, of course, we need to update this value. So for now, we can place the trade with you like this. Of course, we already know everything about it, but but let's take a simple example and see where we can potentially fix. When we have crosses on these indicators, it means that we can completely close the position, or we can simply put, for example, a stop at no loss or move the stop to profit. Here we updated this high position, so let's see what will happen next. So we have updated the last maximum. It is basically our final target. So we are looking at the same thing from the downside. Here we have a bearish divergence, that is. Our chart is growing, our oscillator is falling, so we are waiting for a confirming signal to enter, and we can open a downside trade in this case. Here we have this signal, so we take a short position, we put a stop either here, or if it seems that we can put a high stop here, but here, since we had a very good uptrend, our target could also be either uncovered imbalances or some minimum values. There are a whole bunch of imbalances. This is also a separate indicator. This automatically shows us the zone of uncovered liquidity. But we can limit ourselves to even simple logic, like the removal of the stops. Usually the stops are placed here, we put for some minimum candlestick values. So here we have the first target, which I think we can achieved without any problems. Yes, here the trade turns out to be a little bit longer, but nevertheless we have achieved the target. I hope there are no issues with that. Now let's move to the calculation of the positions. For example, we have understood the signal, so then we are looking for a combination of bullish and bearish divergences with signals, which are in the same direction. Now let's talk a little bit about the important thing. How do we calculate the position? Let's take a fresh situation. Here we also have a former divergence with you. Here we have a signal with you. So how to calculate our trade in this case? We will need to open the site babypips.com. Here we go with you to the tools section and click on the position calculation site. So site is opening, and all we need to do here is at first to select a currency pair. We have chosen a currency pair, and now we need to decide on the size of the stop. As I said earlier, we will take a long position. Here we will open a trade with you. We can put the stop right here. I think if we take a 1 to 2 trade, we can achieve this target. Therefore, we have a stop on 83 points. How to determine it? You and I either look at this value of 84 points. 84 points on this side is basically the same thing. 84 points is the top. I have a balance of, for example, $5,000. I'm going to lose, for example, $1,000. That's 20% of my original deposit. Here is a 20%, click calculate, and here we have standard lots, mini lots and micro lots. Ordinarily we take with you the position size as 1.19. Then we open MetaTrader for app and authorizing our broker's account. So we enter in the server, then searching for a login and password. Then we can open trades even from a phone or from computer in the online terminal of our broker. Next we will need to switch to this asset. For this we just write its name. I trade on ESN account. So I just add this account to myself. Then click on trade. First of all, we write with you the size of the standard lot. It is 1.19. Then we enter with you the price, which we have found it or just buy on the market. We can choose a market order, click buy, and the order will be executed at the price where it is right now. As you see, we can press buy on the market right now. But if you need a limit order, we also look at the price. It is 1.27.649 and we write the price 1.27.649 here as well. So that's all we have written down, and after that we place the position. Of course, now this position is probably already played back, but if you need, we immediately add stop loss and we can immediately take profit. It is highlighted, the upper value, so let's look at the working out of this setup. This setup is still in progress. Here is a chart in real time. We have it in this range, but as you can see, it also could be a potentially very good signal. Now let's move on these trades that I closed last week. I will show you these 3 trades. I have published it in my Telegram channel. Here is the first trade with a profit of almost $5,000. Unfortunately, I've got one stop loss and another small profit which overlapped this stop loss. So let's analyze perhaps the fattest trade. It was open in the night. Now let's switch to this chart. Here is how the events unfolded. We have a bullish divergence and our chart is fallen, as we can see, and our oscillator is rising. So because of this fact, we realize that we have the potential for a reversal and we are waiting for a buy signal. So we are waiting for this signal, and here we have the signal. Accordingly, I open a trade at a price like this. So we open an order at this price and closed it at this price. Let's find it on the chart. So here we have closed this trade. So let's take a look at it. Yes, it was quite a long trade, but considering that, This is an hour time frame, which is where I usually trade. The whole trade took me about 1 day and 13 hours. Literally in 37 hours, I earned almost $5,000 using 2 simple indicators, which each of you can master without any problems. And now imagine that this trade and many others could be on your account. All you had to do was connect to my account using copy trading. So go to my Telegram channel to learn more about this opportunity and subscribe to YouTube channel, just don't miss new videos.